Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tosi. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to draft a basic bodice or a basic blouse, and we'll be needing the following measurements: our back measurement, the bust measurement, the under bust, the waist, the hip measurement, the blouse length, and our nipple to nipple measurement. We'll be needing the length and breadth and round of each of these measurements that I've measured, and also we'll be needing the following tools: our tape measure, the scissors, the pencil, my ruler, and our curve. Let's get into the tutorial. In this particular tutorial, we have some calculations to make. We need to calculate our back divided by 2. We need to calculate our bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance. We need to calculate our under bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, our waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, our hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, nipple to nipple will be divided by 2. I went ahead to calculate my own measurements. Based on my own measurements, I took my accurate measurements and I divided my back by 2. My back is 16 divided by 2, which is 8. My bust is 4. My bust is 38, divided by 4. And I added my 1 inch seam allowance, which is 10.5. Under bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, my own is 9. My waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance. Then I have to add my dart allowance. I'm going to add 1 inch dart to my waist, so everything equals 9.5 inches. Then my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, which is 40 divided by 4 plus 1, that is 11. My nipple to nipple equals 8. I divide that by 2, that will give me 4. Yes, nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2, which will give me 4 inches. Then we have to calculate our armhole round, and this has a formula. The formula is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. In this case, mine is 38 divided by 6 plus 1.5, which equals 8 inches. Now we start by taking our length, that is our shoulder to measurement. My shoulder to my bust is 10 inches. My shoulder to my under bust is 14 inches. Shoulder to waist is 16 inches. And my shoulder to my blouse length is 24 inches. That is what I'm trying to take here. Then I'm trying to rule that out. I'm trying to get the line, trying to rule that out. This is what I'm doing here. Then the next thing I would like to do is to get my back measurement, which is 8. My 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Then I'll get my neckline. The standard neckline measurement is 3 inches by 3 inches, 3 inches width by 3 inches depth. That is the standard neckline. I'm trying to get the square shape so I can get the round neck I want to measure from this. So I've gotten the square, then I'll use my curve to get my round neck. That is what I'm trying to do here. Yes, I've gotten my neckline. I'll go to my shoulder or my back and drop 1 inch below so that I can get the shoulder slope. You know, the shoulder is not straight, we have to get a slope. So I've gotten my shoulder slope. That's what I did here. I'll go ahead there and take my armhole measurement, which is 8. The armhole, I calculated my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. I got that, and I've ruled the line. That is my armhole line. Then the line I'm ruling there is the chest line. That is my chest line. You can call that the chest line. I've gone ahead to rule that. Then I'm trying to get my other measurement, my subsequent measurements. But before that, let me label so you can see what I'm about to do. That is my bust line, my under bust line, my waist line, and my length of my blouse. that is the other line there. So I've gone ahead to the waist to take my dart. Darts are held on the waist. I'm measuring my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 4 inches, and I've gone ahead to draw my dart line. Then under my waist, on the dart line, I'll go in and out by half inch. Then I'll go to the bust. I'll drop 1 inch below the bust, because that's for the front block starts 1 inch below the bust and ends 4 inches below the waist. I've gone ahead to get my dart, and I'm trying to connect. Dart for front block starts 1 inch below the bust and ends 4 inches below the waist. So this is my front dart. I'm trying to roll my dart out. I've gotten my front dart. This is my front dart. I'll go to my bust and take my measurements. The measurements I calculated, that is my bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, which is 10.5. I'm going to the armpit region to measure the 10.5 again. Then my under bust divided by 4 plus 1, which is 9 inches. Then I've gone ahead to do my waist divided by 4 plus 1. Then I remember to add my dart allowance, which is 1 inches. I've gone ahead to measure on my blouse round, which is my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch, 11 inches. I'm connecting from my waist down to my blouse length and then straight into the armpit. I've connected that from my waist straight to my armpit. So I'm going to get my armhole curve. I divided my armhole length by 2, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4 inches. Then on that 4 inches, I went in by half inch to get my armhole curve. See the way I'm trying to place my curve just to get my armhole curve. You want to watch this place closely so you can get your curve perfectly. You can see I came out with a very perfect curve. My armhole curve is so perfect. Then this blouse is looking so sharp at the edge. I'm going to try to get a shape by going up on my blouse length by 2 inches, just like I did there, and in by 5 inches. And I'll be using my curve to connect just to get us that shape, that shaped base on our blouse. So this is the front block basically. I'm through. Then for the back block, I'm supposed to draft it together, but I want to show you something, how you can remove your zip bulge on your back block. So now I've gone ahead to get my lengths, my shoulder to bust 10 inches, under bust, waist, and my blouse length. And I'm going ahead here to get my zipper allowance. I like to get my zipper allowance on my pattern paper just to remove the zip bulge on my pattern paper. So I've gone ahead to remove my 2 inches zipper allowance. From my start line, I measure 2 inches and I'm just ruling that down. That is my zipper allowance. I've labeled it zip allowance. So every measurement I'm going to be taking will start from my zip allowance. So I'm trying to get my standard neckline for the back, which is 1 inch depth by 3 inch width. 3 inches width, I mean. Then I've gotten my back measurement just like I did from the front. Dropped 1 inch below for the slope. And I'll just be... Yes, I dropped an inch below. I'm trying to get my neckline for the back block. I like to use my freehand to get my neckline for the back block because it comes out perfect for me. So I've shaped the back just like you've seen, and I'm connecting the slope to the neckline. I've connected my slope to the neckline. Then I'll be starting my measurement just like I said from my zipper allowance. That's what I'm trying to show you. I've gotten my dart line from the waist. I ruled it out. Dart for the back starts 1 inch above the bust and stops 4 inches below the waist. That is another difference between the front and the back block. That for the back block starts 1 inch above the bust and 4 inches below the waist. I've gone ahead to draw my dart line, and I've gone ahead just to draw my armhole line like I did for the front. I'm trying to get my armhole, my back armhole. I've divided that by 2, which is 4. Then I'm getting my measurements. I've gotten my measurements, my bust, under bust. Then I'll come, before I get my waist measurement, I'll try to remove the zip bulge on the waist. By going to my start line on the waist, I'll be taking 0.75 inches in, measuring 0.75 inches into the pattern, just like I did here. I measured 0.75 inches in, and I'm just connecting it into my lines. I'm collecting it just straight up, just the way I did, just to get rid of the zipper bulge. I've gotten rid of the zipper bulge, just like I'm doing. Gotten rid of the zipper bulge. So that is the zip bulge. I've taken out the zip bulge. So if I'm going to trace this out, I'll be tracing out that zip bulge that is going out. That's why you see me shade it. So on my waist, I'll be adding my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that, then plus my 0.75 inches which I took away for my zipper, but that's 0.75 inches, I mean 0.75 inches. I'll be measuring it, which is giving me 9.25. Yeah, and I'll be going down to the base to take my other measurements. Then for the back block, I'm not going in for my armhole, I'm just going to connect straight. You can see I'm connecting from my armhole curve just like that to my armpit. So basically this is how the back block will look like, and I'll be cutting out for us to see. Yeah, I forgot to take my base round, which is my blouse base round, to avoid the sharpness in the lower part. So I'll be taking that for the back block as well, and I'll be cutting that out. Basically that is what I'm trying to do here. You can see me trying to cut it out. I forgot the base round, so I'm putting it here. I'm putting the base round here. That is what I'm trying to do here. Basically you can see me, I'm just trying to show you that I forgot to measure my base round, so I'm just trying to get that base curve, and I'm getting the curve out, and I'll continue to cut the pattern just to show you how I'm doing it, so you can cut that on your own perfectly. Guys, if you've watched my video to this point and you like what you're saying, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share, comment. Please share this video, please like, comment, share. This is how my back block looks, and I'm going off camera to cut out my front block as well and show you. So this is my front block. I've cut everything out, so I'll see you in my next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have so many tutorials to teach you. Please guys, please subscribe. I'll see